this. What is the agenda for today's classes? Agenda for today's classes. I'm going to take the class for next 60 minutes. In the next 60 minutes, you guys will understand introduction to Power BI. So you'll get the complete introduction to Power BI. What is Power BI? So as part of today's class, you'll understand, in order to understand Power BI, first we need to understand data analysis. First, we'll understand what is data analysis. Once you understand what is data analysis, next you will understand what is Power BI. Second, once you understand what is Power BI, third, you will understand how to perform data analysis using Power BI. How to perform data analysis using Power BI. Using what? Power BI. These are the 3 points you guys will understand in today's class. Let's start one by one. What is data analysis? What is Power BI? How to perform data analysis using Power BI, we will discuss. So first, let's start with what is data analysis. I said that you can understand Power BI effectively when you know about data analysis. That is the reason. So if you know data analysis, understanding Power BI is easy. It doesn't take much time. First, let me explain about data analysis. Then we'll talk about Power BI. Fine. So someone tell me what is data analysis. If you know any definitions or something, online people, just tell me. If you know anything here, what is data analysis, just let me know. I'll write it here. Then I'll explain. Online people, anybody knows some definitions or something here?
It's a kind of storytelling out of the data.
Storytelling out of the data, correct. That also call it as getting
Reading
actionable insights. Yes.
reading the data and giving the report or current status of it,
Right.
which company is using it.
Correct. See, different people will tell about data analysis in different ways. So there are many ways people will tell, but let me tell you what is the most commonly used definition we will provide for data analysis. So I can tell data analysis is a process. In simple, data analysis is one process. Process means collection of steps. Whenever I said that process, what is the meaning for process means collection of steps, multiple steps. Let me show you. Data analysis contains multiple steps in it. I'm just going to open one slide to show you. So this is data analysis. You can see this data analysis contains 5 steps, step 1 to step 5. This 5 steps together, I'm calling it as data analysis. Data analysis is a 5-step process like OLTP, second step ETL, third step OLAP, fourth step creating reports, fifth step sharing them with the clients. So I can write to be more specific. Data analysis is a 5-step process. 5-step process which converts business data into actionable information. Actionable information. You can tell this, guys. What this 5 steps will do is that 5 steps will convert business data, company's business data into actionable information. I'll talk about what is business data. I'll talk about what is actionable information. Now you can see, I will open the architecture. Let's open the architecture here. I'm just going to open a data analysis architecture. We also call it as data analysis, also known as business intelligence. Data analysis or business intelligence. If you see, look at this architecture, it have 5 steps, guys. First step is OLTPs, second step is ETL, third step is OLAP, fourth step is creating reports or visuals, fifth step is sharing them with the clients. These are the 5 steps you have. That 5 steps will convert company's business data into actionable information. What is this? You will understand. So data analysis is a 5-step process which converts your company's business data into actionable information. Let me write what are the 5 steps you have. Process means I said collection of steps, right? What are the 5 steps you have? First step is OLTP. Second step is ETL. Third step is OLAP. Fourth step is create reports. Fifth step is share reports to the clients. Share reports to the clients. Reports to whom? Clients. Guys, these are the 5 steps you'll have in data analysis. Okay. So you need to understand these 5 steps. What OLTP means, what is ETL means, what OLAP is, what reports are, why we need to share them. All these 5 steps you need to thoroughly understand. So if you understand these 5 steps, understanding Power BI will take just 5-10 minutes only. Okay, now let's start with, before I explain what is this data analysis. Okay, data analysis is there, it have 5 steps, right? Now the point is, who will use this data analysis? Who will perform or who will use this data analysis? Whatever the 5 steps you have in the data analysis, who will use it? Who will use data analysis? Who will use the data analysis means, I can say each and every company will perform data analysis. No matter whether it's a big company or small company, every company need to perform data analysis. Why? Let me explain, elaborate this point. Why each and every company, whether it's a small company or whether it's a big company, that company need to go and perform data analysis. What is the reason behind that? We will see. So let me explain like this. When there is any company, the company will do some business. You take some company names, Flipkart, Amazon. I'm just writing some random company names, ICICI. In this list, I'll add this training institute also, analytics benchmark. So like this, if you keep on writing the company names, we can write lakhs of company names, not 1 or 2 companies. If I keep on writing the company names, we can write lakhs of companies. If you take any company that do some business, tell me Flipkart is doing what type of business? They're doing e-commerce business. Amazon is also doing what business? E-commerce business. ICICI is doing what type of business? They're doing banking business. Analytics benchmark, this training institute, we are into education, guys, edutech. So like this, if you take any company, that company will do some business. When a company is doing the business, from the business, you'll get the business data. We know that when Flipkart is doing e-commerce business, they are going to get a lot of business data. Tell me what type of data they'll get. They'll get orders related data. They'll get customers related data. They'll get products related data. They'll get sales related data. They'll get returns related data. If you keep on writing, I can write a lot of different business data. Even Amazon also, when they do e-commerce business, they also get this kind of data. Another example, ICICI Bank it is doing a banking business. When they do banking business, they also get the business data, day-to-day transactions, transactions related data, savings account related data, credit card related data, loans related data, insurance related data. And when you keep on writing, we can write a lot of other data also get. So like this, you name any company, an analytics benchmark is doing education sector, they also get the business data. The most important business data for us is students data, your data, students data, staff related data, courses related data, fee related data. If I keep on writing, I can write a lot of other information also. Okay, finally, when we do business, you'll get business data. When you are getting the business data, that business data will be stored, guys. Some companies will store the data in Excel files. Some companies will store the data in the SQL Server database. Some companies will store the data in the Oracle database, in other places also. I write only example, 3 examples here. They might store in MySQL database. They might store in DB2 database. They might store in cloud and so on. Different places they might store it. So we call them as data sources, guys. We call them as what? So whenever a company is getting the business data, that will be stored in some data source. Might be the data source might be anything. As I said, Excel, SQL Server, Oracle database, DB2 database, MySQL database, or some cloud database. What wherever it might be. That is a data source. What is the next step is, once the business data is stored in the data source, what they need to do is they want to analyze the data. Whatever the data that was stored here, they need to analyze it. So here we will talk about few minutes, guys. I said that we need to analyze the data, right? Analyzing the data means understanding where we are good. So companies need to analyze the data. Companies need to analyze the data, analyze the data to take better business decision. Analyze the data to take what? Better business decisions, guys. Better business decisions. Companies need to analyze the data in order to take better business decisions. Let me give you an example, guys. Analyzing the data means understanding where we are doing good, where we are doing bad. Companies will analyze the data in order to understand, need to analyze the data and understand where we are doing good or bad. Based on that, we will take some decisions. Based on that, we will take some decisions here. Take an example. I'll just give a understanding here. Uh, ICICI Bank is currently operating in 1,000 branches, guys. Imagine ICICI Bank have 1,000 branches. When they have 1,000 branches, they want to close 10 branches. When they want to close some 10 branches, will they randomly go and pick the 10 branches and close it, or what they'll do? Online people, out of 1,000 branches, when they want to close the 10 branches, will they randomly pick it, or what they'll do?
First
What
they
they'll do
will
is
and first they
uh,
will analyze
analyze.
which
They'll take
branch.
all the 1,000 branches data. They'll
Mhm.
analyze. Analyze means when they analyze, they'll understand which branches are doing good, which branches are doing bad. They'll understand. Once they analyze the branches which are doing bad, they'll take some 10 branches and they'll go and close it. Any company, in order to take some decision, so that this they want to take a decision which 10 branches to close. They want to analyze the data. That's what I written. Companies need to analyze the data in order to take better decisions. Okay. Another point is, in order to analyze the data, companies require reports. Companies required reports to what? To analyze the data. Let me show you what the reports is. I'm telling that here, companies required reports to analyze the data, right? Let me show you how the reports will look like. app.powerbi.com. I'll just show you some sample reports. Just observe only few sample reports. Uh, I'm just going to workspaces, my workspace. I'll just open a couple of reports, guys, here. I'm just opening a couple of reports to show you how the reports will look like. So I open artificial intelligence report, artificial intelligence sample AI. So look at this. This kind of report, this complete one, I can call it as a report. So I can navigate to another page. This one is a report, guys. Companies require this kind of reports to analyze the data. Companies require this kind of reports to analyze the data. And this is another report. This is another report. Just see some samples. This kind of reports are required. Let's go here. And this is another report. When I look at this report, what is the name of the report? E-commerce sales report. You can see e-commerce sales report. We call this each one as a visual. Okay, this complete one is a report. This complete one is a report. And each one is a visual. Line chart is a visual. Column chart is a visual. Donut chart is a visual. Scatter chart is a visual. And all the visuals together, I can call it as one report. E-commerce sales report. Companies require this kind of reports to analyze the data. If you see, and I go to the visual here, if you look at this visual, in the visual, you are showing subcategory wise. In the visual, you are showing what? Subcategory wise profits. When I share this visual with my company people can understand. So which subcategory is generating highest profits is copiers. Copiers is the one which is having highest profits. This is generating highest profits here. Phones is the one which is generating second highest profits. Tables is the one which is generating lowest profits. Tables is generating minus 18K profit. Profit number in minus is what? Profit number in the minus is loss. I can see suppliers bookcases also have negative numbers. These three suppliers bookcases tables are generating losses. When I share this visual with my client, these visuals or reports will help my clients to understand where they are doing good, where they are doing bad. Once they understand that, based on that, they can take the decisions. They can take what? Decisions. One decision my client is planning to take here is they are planning to stop selling suppliers, bookcases, and tables. Why they are planning to stop selling them? They are producing losses. When I share the same visual with my company people, the second decision they made is they're planning to concentrate on more on copiers business and phones business. Why they need to concentrate more on copiers and phones business? They're producing more profits. Like this, companies require this kind of reports, guys. We are just telling this kind of reports companies required to analyze the data. So companies need to analyze the data to take the decisions. In order to analyze the company required reports to analyze the data. Finally, let me conclude, guys. Whenever a company want to create the reports, they need to perform a complete process called data analysis process. So people will think that we'll go and create the reports directly. No, before we create the reports, we need to do a lot of work. First, we need to do ETL work. Then you need to create OLAP database. Then you'll create report. So any company which is planning to create the reports, they need to perform data analysis. Right, that point? Companies will create the reports by performing data analysis process. Companies will create reports by performing data analysis process. Uh, so let me consolidate these 3 points now by performing data analysis process. So when there is any company or every company will perform data analysis. Uh, why companies will perform data analysis is to create reports. A company will perform data analysis. Using that, they'll create reports, guys. The end output for data analysis is creating reports. See, in the data analysis, you have a lot of works. The end output of data analysis is creating reports, guys. Companies will perform data analysis in order to create reports. Why the companies need to create reports? Companies require reports to analyze the data. To analyze the data. Company, by using the reports, they will understand where we are doing good, where we are doing bad. Understanding where we are doing good and bad is nothing but understanding the data, analyzing the data. Companies require such kind of reports to analyze the data. Why companies need to analyze the data? To take decisions. To take what? Decisions. When any company want to take business decisions, first they need to analyze the data. To analyze the data, they required what? Reports. To get the reports, they need to do what? Data analysis. That is the reason each and every company will perform data analysis and create the reports and use the reports to analyze the data and take the decisions. So when they take better decisions, then only they can run successfully. That is the small story. Who will use data analysis? Okay, now we got an idea who will use data analysis, right? Now let's jump in and understand these 5 steps. What is this OLTP? What is this ETL? What is this OLAP? I'll try to understand now. Let's start with understanding these 5 steps, guys. So before I explain that 5 steps, let me tell you something called who is data analyst? Who is data analyst? Who is data analyst? Now you join this course to become a data analyst, right? Who is data analyst is the person who perform this data analysis is a data analyst, guys. The person who performs data analysis is a data analyst. Is a data analyst. Simple, guys. The person who do this ETL, the person who do this ETL, the person who create this OLAP database, the person who create the reports, the person who share the reports with the clients, the person who do all these steps, that person name is a data analyst. Okay. Now leave it about this. We'll come back here. Now let me make you understand what is OLTP. In the data analysis, first step is OLTP, right? For a few minutes, we'll talk about what is OLTP. In the software terminology, the place where companies stores business data we call as OLTP. Data we call as OLTP, guys. Just a second. Just a second. So what we are telling? The place where companies are storing their business data, place where companies are storing the business data, we call it as OLTP. What is the meaning is, let's say my company is storing the business data in the SQL server. I can call the SQL server as an OLTP. My company is storing the business data in the Oracle. I can call Oracle as OLTP. So in the software terminology, wherever we store our business data, that I can call it as OLTP. Don't think much about the OLTP. It is just a name. How you got that name? Full form for OLTP is online transactional processing, right? Let me tell you how you got this name. How you got this name is, one more name for business data is transactional data. Transactional data, business data or transactional data. So wherever we store transactional data, name itself is telling. In OLTP, sorry guys, not OLTP, OLTP. Let's copy OLTP. OLTP, not OLTP. Where OLTP store what? I said that OLTP store business data or transactional data. Wherever we store transactional data, we call it as online transactional processing. In the name itself, you have transactional because it stores transactional data. So in short, we call it as OLTP, guys. The place where our companies store their business data or transaction data, we call it as OLTP. Every company will have, every company will have a one or multiple OLTPs, one or multiple OLTPs. Some companies will have only one OLTP. Some companies will have multiple OLTPs. Take an example. You take ICICI Bank. ICICI Bank will have different subjects data. They'll have savings account data. They'll have credit card data, right? They might not go and store all the data in single place. Might be they are storing savings account data in one OLTP, credit card data in the second OLTP, like that. Some companies will store their data in multiple OLTPs also. That's what I written. Every company will have either one or multiple OLTPs, guys. So finally, you can write here in the bracket S. Some company will have one OLTP. Some company will have multiple OLTPs where they'll store the business data. What they'll store? Business data. That is the starting point. Okay, now you got an idea what the OLTP means. Companies will provide one or multiple OLTPs to the data analyst and ask to create the reports, guys. Companies will provide one or multiple OLTPs to whom? One or multiple OLTPs to the data analyst. To whom? Data analyst, and ask to create reports to analyze the data. Ask to create reports for what purpose? To analyze the data. That is the matter. So what happens is, this OLTP is already there in the company. That will be given to the data analyst and they'll ask you to generate the reports. Companies require reports to what? Analyze the data and take the decisions, right? Now, important point is, it is never recommended to go and create reports directly on OLTPs. So make a note. Important note is, we'll discuss why. Note, it is never recommended to create reports directly on OLTPs, to create reports directly on OLTPs. No company will create reports directly on OLTPs. No company will go and create reports directly on OLTPs. What is the reason? There are many reasons. Online people just tell me, do you know any reasons why it is not recommended to create reports directly on OLTPs? Any reasons you guys know? Why we don't go and create the reports on OLTPs? There are many reasons. Tell me few reasons if you know.
There is different.
Well,
report area where there is different report area where we need to prepare the reports.
Different?
We should not disturb the raw data, and there is other area where we need to prepare this create reports.
Yeah, that's what. Why? There will be OLAP database. Generally, we don't create the reports on OLTP. We'll create a new database called OLAP. That OLAP will use it for creating the reports. What is the reason like that? Why don't you create directly reports on OLTP? Okay. So one major reason is OLTPs contains raw data or unstructured data. The major reason, there are other reasons also, we'll see in the coming classes. So OLTPs generally contains raw data or unstructured data. I'll talk in a few minutes. What is that? I'll show you. Unstructured data will be there. That unstructured data is not useful for creating the reports. Okay, then what? How we'll create the reports? Then how we'll create the reports is, now data analyst will create a new database. Now data analyst need to create a new database, need to create a new database called OLAP. Called what? OLAP, to create the reports. To create what? Reports. So it's a brand new database which will be created by data analyst guys. OLTP will be provided by the company. This OLAP will be created by the data analyst. Remember that. What OLAP stands for? OLAP stands for online analytical processing. OLAP stands for what? Online analytical processing. I'll tell you how you got this name. It's a new database, right? We need to move the data from OLTP database to OLAP database. I'll tell you how you got this name. To move the data, we will use some softwares called ETL, right? That point. To move the data from OLTP to OLAP, to move data from OLTP to OLAP database, we will use ETL software. Yes, we'll use what software? ETL software. ETL software, E stands for what? Extracting the data. T stands for transforming the data. L stands for loading the data. ETL. Now you guys tell me, from OLTP to OLAP, what data we need to transform? Is it required to transform all the business data? Means no, guys. While moving the data to the OLAP, we'll move only data required for analysis purpose. Only data required for what? What data we need to show in the reports, that data only we need to bring it to the OLAP. Try to understand. So imagine my OLTP have 100 tables. Imagine in the 100 tables, my company is storing their business data. Just imagine. Now client is asking to create the reports and asking to show only 10 tables data. In the reports, they would like to see only 10 tables data. Now, can I create the reports directly on OLTP? Means we don't do that. So I said that we will create a new database called OLAP. Into that OLAP, we will move the data using ETL software, and that data will use it for creating the reports. Now tell me, while moving the tables, how many tables we need to move to OLAP? Is it required to move all the 100 tables, or it is required to move only the 10 tables what I need to use in reports? While moving the data to the OLAP, we need to move only the tables, 10 tables, what I need to use it in the reports, guys. So OLAP will have always data what you need for analysis or what you need for creating the reports, right? That point. So this OLAP will store only data required for analytical purpose. It will have only analytical data. As you store analytical data, we call it as online analytical processing. It stores analytical data. In short, we call it as OLAP, guys. So we understand how we got OLAP, right? When it comes to OLAP, in the OLAP, data will not be in the unstructured format. Data will be in the structured format. When it comes to OLAP, OLAP will have data in the structured, which is best suitable for creating the report. I said that unstructured data is not useful for creating the reports. I'll tell you with small example. And I said that structured data is required to create the reports, right? Now, understand. So how OLAP is getting the data from OLTP only, right? So when OLTP have unstructured data, how OLAP, when it comes, it is becoming structured, means because of this ETL, right? ETL stands for what? Extracting your data. T stands for transforming your data. L stands for loading your data. Here the major work is transform. The middle one in ETL transform is there, right? That is major. That transform will convert unstructured data to structured, right? So what the transform will do? The major work in the ETL is transform. that will convert unstructured data to what? Structured data. To what? Unstructured data to the structured data. So that is what transform. So these tools will clean the data. It will take the data from OLTPs. It will clean. ETL tools will clean or transform the data, and that data will be stored in one database, OLAP. And that OLAP will have data required for analysis in the structured format, which is suitable for creating the reports, right? Now, let me give with small example what is unstructured data and what is structured data. I'll just open one small slide here to explain it. Look at this image. When I go to this image, sorry guys, when I go to this image, you have two tables here. What are the two tables you have is, one is OLTP table, second one is OLAP table. If you go and see in, so one is OLTP table, another one is what? OLAP table. This is how the data will be in the OLTP. This is how the data will be in the OLAP. So from OLTP to OLAP, data will move using ETL softwares. Using what? ETL softwares. Now try to understand. Generally, OLTP will get the data from different people, guys. Let's take example Flipkart. One customer will go and place the order, or many customers. Many customers will go and place the order. The data will come to OLTP. Let's say when I ask many customers to write their country name, one customer will write the country name like United States. Second customer write the country name like US. Third customer write U.S. US USA. Each person write their country names in different formats, and that we call it as unstructured data. Now, as many people enter the data here, many people enter the data in many different formats. But same data when I move to the OLAP, same data from OLTP only, you'll move the data to OLAP. In ETL, you'll clean the data. You'll convert US to what? United States. You'll convert U.S. to what? United States, US dot to United States, and USA to units. In everywhere, you convert it into the single format. United Kingdom, same United Kingdom. UK, you convert it. So all these transformations will be done in ETL, guys. Converting UK to United Kingdom, everything will be happen in this T transform. Now, when it comes to OLAP, this OLTP have unstructured data. How I am telling unstructured is different formats. OLAP have structured data. How I am telling structured is in the same format. Now see what is the problem. Now I am just going to the next slide. This is OLTP table. Using the OLTP, I'm creating the visual. I'm trying to show country-wise sales, guys. When I show country-wise sales, when I share this visual with my company people said this visual is wrong. I use OLTP. I create this visual report. When I create this, when I share this with my company people, they said it is wrong. Why it is wrong? My company is doing the business in only 2 countries, but it is telling that it is showing 7 different country names here and 7 different sales values you are seeing. I cannot do any analysis using this visual. In reality, we are not doing the business in 7 countries. We are doing in only 2 countries. We would like to see only 2 sales values. The problem is not with the report. The problem is with the data. OLTP will have data in the unstructured format. If you try to create the visuals on unstructured data, you'll get meaningless result here. That is the reason we don't create it. Now go to the next slide. Now this is the OLAP database. When you use OLAP database to create the visual, you're trying to show country-wise sales, guys. Country-wise sales. It will take all the similar names as one value. It will group it, and it will do sum of sales. It will sum 100 plus 200, 300, 300 plus 300, 600, 1000, 1500. And it will group United Kingdom as one value and 100 plus 200, 300. When I shared this visual with my company people said, this report is correct. We are doing the business in 2 countries. One is United States, second one is United Kingdom. United States is doing more sales. United Kingdom is doing less sales. My company people can do some analysis here. So now you hope understand. So a small example I said, OLTPs contains what? Unstructured data. When I try to directly go and create the reports, we don't get the proper results in the reports. That is the reason we need to bring the data to the ETL software and we need to clean the data or transform the data. Once you clean the data or transform the data, that data will be stored in one database called OLAP. That data we will use it for creating the reports, guys. Now, the information which you shown in the reports, we call it as actionable information. The information which you shown in the reports, we call it as what? Actionable information. What is the meaning is? You created some reports. Someone tell me, online people, I'm showing this reports, right? This reports was created using OLTP or OLAP. Whatever the reports you are seeing here, this reports will be created on OLTP database or OLAP database. Online people, this kind of reports, revenue opportunity report, I created it here, right? It is on OLTP or OLAP.
OLAP.
We always create the reports on what? OLAP. Correct. We always create this kind of reports on the OLAP. Okay, that's fine. You create the reports on OLAP. Now, whatever the information you shown in the report, this information we call it as actionable information. Why we call it as actionable information means, let me explain. Whatever the information you are showing in any visual or report, we are calling it as actionable information, right? Why we call it as actionable information means, when I share this visual with my clients or company people, they'll take some decisions, guys. Decisions are nothing but what? Actions. Another name called what? Actions. By using the information available in the visual, my company will take actions. That is the reason I call it as actionable information. This information, we call it as actionable information. Using this, we'll take the actions. We'll take what? Actions or decisions. Right. So finally, this complete process, we call it as, read the definition now. What is data analysis? I said that data analysis is a 5-step process. This 5-step process name is data analysis. What it will do, which converts company's business data. Business data will be stored in OLTPs. Whatever the data customers enter, that data will come to this OLTPs. Different customers, different products, a lot of data, you'll get it here. And that business data will convert into actionable information. Actionable information will be available in reports. To convert the business data into actionable information, first you need to do ETL. Second, you need to create OLAP database. Third, you need to create reports. These are the 3 major steps in the data analysis, guys. Doing ETL, creating OLAP database, creating reports, and sharing the reports to the clients. So this sharing the reports to the client is an easy task. Is a what? Sharing the reports to the client is an easy task. So OLTPs will be provided by the company. There is no sharing the reports to the clients is an easy task. The 3 major tasks is doing ETL, creating OLAP database, creating reports. Now we understand data analysis is a 5-step process. We understand these 5 steps. That 5-step process will convert company's business data into actionable information. Now the next step is we understand what is data analysis right now. Now, in order to do this data analysis, we required some software. We required what? Software. That software is what? Power BI. That software is what now? I'll talk about Power BI. So Power BI is the software which will help us to do these 5 steps, guys. Now let's jump in and try to understand what is Power BI now. We'll try to understand what is Power BI. So first, who developed Power BI? Microsoft is the company developed Power BI. Microsoft Power BI. Someone tell me what is the reason Microsoft developed Power BI? Microsoft developed Power BI to perform what? To perform what? Data analysis. To perform these 5 steps, Microsoft company developed Power BI software. Yes, keeping in mind what Microsoft understand, every company need to do this data analysis. So in order to do that, they developed one software, that is Power BI. Let me explain, guys. First point you need to know about Power BI is the name for collection of softwares. Power BI is the name for collection of softwares, guys. Power BI is not the name of a single software. Power BI is the name for collection of softwares. At that point, Power BI is the name for collection of softwares. Collection of softwares. People will think that Power BI is a single software. No, it have multiple softwares. Let me write what are the different softwares we have. First software I have is Power BI Desktop. Second software I have is Power BI Service. Third software I have is Power BI Report Server. Fourth software I have is Power BI Mobile. Power BI Mobile. These are the 4 different softwares available in Power BI. Yes. So the 4 softwares, I call it as collection of softwares. And for that, Microsoft given the name called Power BI. Out of the 4 software, the most important software is Power BI Desktop. Power BI Desktop is a development software in Power BI. It's a development software in Power BI. When you join in the company, 90% of time, Power BI developer will work in Power BI Desktop only. Try to understand. Tomorrow, when you learn Power BI, say you join this course and you learn Power BI, guys. When you learn Power BI, we call you as a Power BI data analyst. After learning Power BI, you'll become a Power BI data analyst. What is the name you'll get? After you learn Power BI, you'll become a Power BI data analyst or Power BI developer. Okay, once you become a Power BI data analyst or Power BI developer, or some people will call it as data analyst only. After you learn Power BI, you'll become, right? So this Power BI data analyst, 90% of time will work in Power BI Desktop. The major software in Power BI is Power BI Desktop, guys. Remaining 3 are there, right? In the 3 softwares, you will work 10% of time only. These 3 softwares are small softwares. They are very small softwares where we will work very less time. Okay. Now, one more point you need to understand is, let me open Power BI architecture. This is the Power BI Desktop. This Power BI Desktop internally contains 3 more softwares. One is Power Query. Second one is Power Pivot. Third one is Power View. There are 3 more softwares: Power Query, Power Pivot, and Power View. So write that point. Power BI Desktop internally contains 3 more softwares. First one is Power Query. Second one is Power Pivot or Power Pivot. Power Pivot. Third one you have is Power View. Power View. These are the multiple softwares available in Power BI. We use these multiple softwares to perform this complete data analysis, guys. To perform these 5 steps, I'll go and use this softwares. The softwares we'll use to do these 5 steps. Now, let me tell you how to do that 5 steps using this Power BI softwares. Tell me, guys, who will provide this OLTPs to the Power BI data analyst? Who will provide this OLTPs to the Power BI data analyst? Company. Who will provide? Companies. Once they provide, so first step, what you need to do? You need to clean the data or do the ETL. In Power BI, where we do ETL is using Power Query. There is Power Query software, right? Write that point. Power Query is an ETL software in Power BI. Power Query is an ETL software in Power BI. Let me write here. Power Query is in what software? ETL software. If you look at this is Power Query. Power Query is what software I said? ETL. So in Power BI, where we'll do this data, business data, OLTP. OLTP is also called it as data sources. Wherever companies store the business data, right? I can call it as either OLTPs or data sources. That OLTPs or data sources will contains what? Business data, right? That business data will be stored here, right? So who will provide this is companies. So that data will extract into Power Query. In Power Query, we'll transform it and we'll load into Power Pivot. Okay. I said that Power Query is the place where we'll do ETL. Okay. After doing the ETL, we guys need to create OLAP. What is the next step Power BI data analyst need to do? After ETL, he need to create OLAP. Where we will create this OLAP in Power BI is using Power Pivot. Write that point. Power Pivot is a database. Power Pivot is a database which is used to create OLAP. See here how SQL Server is one database. How Oracle is one database. How SQL Server is a database. Oracle is a database. Our Power Pivot is also a similar kind of database. How we will store the tables in SQL Server? How we will store the tables in Oracle? We also store the tables in Power Pivot. Try to understand. You extract the tables to the Power Query. In Power Query, you transform the data in the tables. The transformed tables will load into Power Pivot. The tables what you load into Power Pivot, they will store in Power Pivot because it's a database. The tables, we will use it and will create OLAP. In Power Pivot, whatever the tables you loaded, you'll use that and you'll create OLAP. Okay, guys. Now we understand ETL will be performed in the Power Query. OLAP database will be created in the Power Pivot. We'll learn more about them. Next step is creating reports. Where you will create the reports is, you will create the reports in the Power View, guys. In which software? Power View. So Power View, next step is creating the reports, right? Power View is a software which is used to create reports. Power View is a software which is used to create, which one, guys? To create what? Reports. I just use Power View software in order to create the reports. Okay, once you create the reports, what is the last step? Now, we completed till here. OLTP was provided by my company. ETL was done in Power Query. OLAP database was created in Power Pivot. Reports was generated in Power View. Final step is we need to share the reports to the client. In order to share the reports with the clients, try to understand Power BI Desktop in Power View, I create reports, right? Power BI Desktop don't have the capability to share the reports to the clients. In order to share the reports to the clients, I need to publish it to either Power BI service. From there, I need to share with the clients. Or either I need to publish it to the Power BI report server. From there, I need to share with the clients. You are not supposed to, you don't have an option to share it from desktop. Now, what we are trying to tell is to share the reports to the clients, we are telling that we have two softwares. One is Power BI service. Second one is Power BI report server. Second one is what? Power BI report server. Now, a company can use either Power BI service or report server. Now, you might need to get one question here. To do ETL, I have only Power Query. To create OLAP database, I have only Power Pivot. To create reports, I have only Power View. But to share the reports to the clients, why there are two softwares, Power BI service and report server? They are duplicate or not? So no company will use both of them, guys. Here, one is a cloud. Try to understand. First one is a cloud. Second one is a on-premise. On-premise. A company will choose either a cloud to share the reports to the clients. They will choose either a on-premise to share. No company will use both. 99% of the companies, they are choosing cloud to share the reports to the clients. 1% of the companies, they are choosing on-premise to share the reports. Let me write the difference here. Power BI service is a Azure cloud-based software which is used to share the reports to the clients, which is used to share reports to whom? Clients. How much percentage they're using? 99% of the companies they're using this. And Power BI report server, I can write it's an on-premise software. On-premise software which is used to share reports to the client. How much percentage I said? Only 1% of very less companies they'll use it. So what is the final understanding is from Power BI Desktop, we'll publish the reports to the Power BI service. From there, we'll share the reports to whom? Clients, guys. Once you share the reports to the clients, how the clients can check the report? Now, when I share any information, how you guys can check that? So let's say I send an email. Where are the places you will check the email? You can check the email in where? Laptops, using your laptops, using your desktops, and even in mobile phones also you can check it, right? Same story here. When I share the reports to the clients, clients can check that reports using their laptops. Clients can check the reports using the desktops. Client can even check the reports in the mobile phones also. In the mobile phones also. Right. In order to check the reports in the mobile phone, they require a mobile app. What is the mobile app Microsoft developed is Power BI Mobile. Power BI Mobile. It's a mobile app. It's a mobile app which is used to view the reports. View the reports in where? In mobiles or tabs or iPads, guys. They can. So we have mobile app for iOS. We have mobile app for Android. We have mobile app for Windows. We have mobile app for all the OS, guys. iOS, Android, and Windows. So which mobile client is using, they can install it. Someone tell me now, these are the different softwares available in Power BI. With the help of these softwares, am I able to do this complete data analysis? Means yes. OLTPs will be provided by our companies. ETL will be performed in the Power Query. OLAP database will be created in the Power Pivot. Reports will be created in the Power View. And finally, we'll share the report with the client using Power BI service. Right? This is about, if someone asks you what is Power BI, the right definition is Power BI is the name for collection of softwares which are used to perform data analysis, which are used to perform what? Data. That is the definition. Power BI is the name for collection of softwares. That collection of softwares are used to perform this data analysis. Now we got an idea what is data analysis and what is Power BI. Let me combine these two. I'll finally tell you. I'll combine these two. Last few minutes, first 40 minutes, we discussed data analysis. Next around 20 minutes, we discussed Power BI. Now let me combine this. Now I'll tell you how to perform data analysis using Power BI. Using Power BI in a small table, I'll tell you. So in data analysis, what is the first step is OLTPs. Company will have a single OLTP or multiple OLTPs. That is the first step. OLTPs will have business data. Who will provide the OLTPs is companies. Who will provide the OLTPs is companies. First step is OLTP. Second step is ETL. Where we will do ETL in the data analysis. Second step is ETL. Where we will do ETL in Power BI. In order to do ETL in the Power BI, you need to use a software called what?
Power Query.
Correct guess. Power Query. Next step is creating OLAP database. In data analysis, third step is OLAP. Where you will do create OLAP in Power BI. Which software?
Power Pivot.
Power Pivot or Power Pivot. Next step is create reports. Once your OLAP is ready, we'll go and create reports. Where will create the reports? Using what?
View.
Power View. And final step is what? Share reports to clients.
Power BI
Mostly using
service.
Power BI service. Mostly using what? Power BI service. This is this small table you need to keep in mind all the time. How to perform data analysis using Power BI. The same one I graphically show it here. We call it as Power BI architecture. This data will be provided by the companies. In Power Query, I'll do ETL. After that, in Power Pivot, I'll create OLAP. After that, in Power View, I'll create visual reports. Then I'll publish them to Power BI service. From there, I'll share them with the clients. So this is what we call it as Power BI architecture. Yes. By this time, we are done with understanding technical part of today's demo. Now I'll discuss some general points, guys. We're done with the demo now. So I'll discuss few important general points that are important to learn Power BI, guys. Let me discuss what is this general points. These general points are important in order to learn Power BI. I'll just copy paste it. Instead of typing them, I'll go to the previous notepad. I written them there. I'll just copy paste from there. These points are important. Don't drop, guys. In order to learn Power BI effectively, these general points are important. Let me explain one by one. I'll just copy paste them and I'll start explaining one by one. It doesn't take much time. Hardly I'll take another 5 minutes to explain these points. So here, 2 more classes you can attend for free. However, you guys attended today's demo for free. Tomorrow, and when I'm going to start a new batches, this batch timings is tomorrow itself. Tomorrow is Wednesday, 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Every day, 1 hour. So for next 2 months, your batch timings are 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. New batch start date. This is the timings, guys. I'm repeating again. So tomorrow I'm going to start the new batch. Batch timing is 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. You guys can attend tomorrow's class and day after tomorrow's class free. Today you attend free demo, right? In the same way, tomorrow class is also a free class and day after tomorrow is also a free class. I request you join another 2 free classes where I will start practicals. Today I discussed only theory part, right? But tomorrow onwards you will learn practicals. So Power BI developer work will start in Power BI desktop. Tomorrow I'll tell you how to install this Power BI desktop. So once you install Power BI desktop, I'll tell you how to open Power Query, how to do ETL practical, I'll show you. Then I'll tell you next Power Pivot, how to create OLAP. Then I'll tell you in Power View how to create visual reports. Then I'll tell you how to publish the reports to Power BI service, how to share the reports to the clients. This complete process we'll discuss practically in the next 2 free classes. Read this point. Practically at a high level, how the Power BI software will works, you will learn in the next 2 free classes. They will not charge you any amount. So if you learn this, if you join these 2 free classes, you will learn how the Power BI software will work practically. Okay, this is about the new batch, guys. If these timings will not work out for you, another new batch is going to start on 3rd of December. Another new batch will start 3rd December 2025. Again, it's Wednesday. Wednesday at what time is? At 7:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time. At 7:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time to 8:30 a.m. Indian Standard Time. You guys can choose either one. So if this timings will not work 9:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m., you can wait for another week. We will start at morning time. Okay, that is about the new batch details. Now I'm going to send one mail to you. The mail will contain 4 things. Within few minutes after the demo, you'll get a mail. Everyone will get a mail. I hope everyone shared your email IDs to us. I'm going to drop one mail. The mail will have recorded session. The mail will have a notepad. The mail will have introduction class Word document. So this notepad, whatever I written, I'll attach it. Not only that, introduction class. Every class you will get Word documents like this. All these are related to Power BI materials only. Each class topic wise, you will get the Word document like this. Each class one Word document. Today we have introduction, right? This is the introduction class Word document. I'm going to attach this Word document. You just go through it once. You'll understand more about the introduction class. And also you'll get the course content, guys. I'm going to attach the course content also. Let me show you. This is the course content. This is the content I'm going to cover in the next 60 days, 60 hours. The course duration is 60 hours of time. This is the topics. In this PDF, we have PDF with 11 pages. I listed what are the topics I'm going to cover in the next 2 months, 60 hours. So every topic I listed here, I'll discuss with real-time examples, guys. Real-time examples, believe me. So the course duration is 60 hours. It will take more than 2 months. I'll take the classes Monday to Saturday. Sunday is holiday, right? So as we take weekly 6 days, to complete the 60 hours, it required 10 weeks of time. It will take more than 2 months. More than 2 months. So in the more than 2 months of time or 60 hours, you will learn how to perform data analysis using Power BI. So you will learn Power BI for 60 hours of time, more than 2 months. What you will learn in the 60 hours more than 2 months is you will learn how to perform data analysis using Power BI. Now I will not go and walk through the complete content. I'll not walk through point by point, but let me tell you what is the high level breakdown, what I'm going to cover. So this is the high level breakdown. What I'm going to cover, I'll tell you guys. So first, we know that OLTPs will be provided by the companies. First step we need to do is ETL. We need to do ETL in the Power Query. So we will start Power Query and we'll discuss for 13 hours of time where you will learn how to do ETL activities. Out of 60 hours, you will learn 13 hours about how to do ETL activities. There you will learn mashup language. That's first ETL. Second step is creating OLAP database. You will create OLAP database in Power Pivot. We'll start learning Power Pivot for 17 hours of time, where we will create OLAP databases. While creating OLAP databases, you will learn data modeling concepts, you will learn data warehousing concepts, and you will learn DAX language. You will learn what? DAX language. Once you are done with creating OLAP, then next step is creating reports. Creating what? Reports in Power View. So then we'll start learning Power View. We will learn Power View for 17 hours of time, where you will learn how to create the reports. After creating the reports, we want to share the reports to the clients that you will do using Power BI service. A Power BI service will be discussed for 13 hours of time, where we will discuss Azure Cloud concepts, admin concepts, and Power BI project. See guys, in this course, we not only teach the topics in the Power BI, guys. What add-ons you will learn in the 60 hours is In the 60 hours, you will learn real-time projects, how to do the real-time projects. These are the real-time projects. Let me show you this kind of projects you will do it. This is the retail AB project. In this retail AB project, you will take the data from SQL Server. You will do a lot of ETL. As per the requirements, you will do ETL. As per the requirements, we'll create the OLAP database like this as per the requirements. And so there is a requirement document like this. As per the requirements, we'll create the reports. We'll create the reports and so on, guys. We'll create the reports and so on. So this kind of projects you guys will do. Okay. Now, so what we said, we'll do real-time projects, guys. Once you do real-time projects, not only that, we'll discuss Power BI developer roles and responsibilities. When you join in the company as a Power BI developer, what are the different roles and responsibilities we'll have? We'll discuss. Power BI developer, what are the roles and responsibilities we'll have? We'll discuss it. Next. Once we discuss Power BI developer roles and responsibilities, so these are the, tomorrow when you join in the company as a Power BI developer, in any project, Power BI developer, what roles and responsibilities they'll have? We'll discuss every roles and responsibility in a detailed way. We'll discuss it, and we will discuss you how to prepare your resumes. So we will tell you guys, and we'll provide a lot of interview questions, and we'll discuss them, and we'll conduct mock interviews. These are the add-ons you'll get from this course. Let me tell you an important point. Who can learn Power BI? The point is, who are the people can go and learn Power BI? So who are the people can learn Power BI? Freshers. Freshers can go and learn what? Power BI. Freshers means you are done with the you are done with your education in the year 2023 or 2024 or 2025. They will be treated as freshers, guys. These people can treat as freshers. They have a lot of opportunities on Power BI. And another category of people who can learn is career break or career gap. So what is this career break or career gap is? You are done with your graduation in the year 2017 or 2018 or later. So you done. So they will not treat you as a fresher, guys. Must and should these people need to keep some experience. So we treat you as career gap people. So you are good to learn this Power BI. After learning Power BI, you don't try the job as a fresher. You need to keep some 3 to 5 years of experience. We will keep 3 to 5 years of experience on Power BI, and we will try to get the job. So how to get this experience is, there will be some consultancies outside. They'll build some consultancies, they'll provide it, and we'll try it. That is the second category of people. So lot of people who come to me for learning Power BI is this category of people, guys. Next one is career transition. Career transition, already they are working in some IT job or non-IT job. They want some growth in their work, so they can come and learn Power BI, and they can try for the job. These people also who want to do career transition, they also want to keep experience, guys. These people also want to keep 3 to 5 years of experience. So I'll talk to one-on-one. I'll came to know whether you are a fresher or a career break or career gap student or career transition person. Based on that, I'll tell you how to prepare the resume. So all these three category people are eligible to learn Power BI. We have opportunities for freshers as experienced. Why I am telling only Power BI is good? So for these people, I will tell you Power BI is best software. Learning Power BI is easy. No coding at all. 90% of work drag and drop, where we will write 1 or 2 lines of code, not a complex code, 1-2 lines of code. That to 10% of time only will write some code. It's easy to learn. Even when you keep 3 to 5 years of experience, it's easy to survive. That is the reason for this two category of people, Power BI is the best option. See, when you keep 5 years of experience on Java, survival will become difficult. At same 5 years experience when you keep on Power BI, I promise you, after this course you can survive. After my 60 hours of training, you can comfortably keep 3 to 5 years of experience. That level of subject I'll deliver with. All the 60 hours of recorded sessions we will share with you, and we'll have a dedicated supporting team. When you are practicing, you got some questions, guys. So my team will answer that questions. So if my support team is not able to answer your question, you can reach out to me also. This is what I'm going to provide in the 60 hours, guys. I clearly said it. After the 60 hours of training, as I'm telling, you can keep 3 to 5 years of experience comfortably. Now I'll go with the questions. A common question a lot of students will ask is, any prerequisite to learn Power BI? Okay, I'm interested to learn Power BI. So do I need to have prior right? I can strictly say no prerequisite to learn Power BI. Even an intermediate person join my Power BI course. I'll teach Power BI from very basics to project level, very basic level to the project level. So
what
no
about
prerequisite. But okay, without having any knowledge, even you are from non-IT background, you can comfortably join the Power BI course and you can learn it. But after you learn Power BI, understand guys, after you learn Power BI, then after you gets learning Power BI, you need to go for job, right? Only Power BI will not get you the job. Nowadays, you take any software, only one skill will not get the job, guys. They're asking multiple skills. Any software you take, they will ask multiple skills. One mandatory skill to get the job on Power BI is SQL, guys. So Power BI data analyst jobs, 90% of jobs in the combination of Power BI and SQL. Some jobs they'll ask Power BI SQL plus Power Apps also. Power Apps and Power Automate. Nowadays, some jobs they're asking Power Apps also. Some jobs they'll ask Power BI plus SQL plus Excel, Power BI plus SQL plus Python, Power BI plus SQL plus ADF, Power BI plus SQL plus Tableau. I can tell you, major portion is Power BI plus SQL. One skill you required is SQL, guys, to get the job on Power BI. So there are some institutes who will tell only with Power BI you'll get the job. It's wrong. You don't get the job only with Power BI. Mandatory skill is SQL. Now let's talk about what is the SQL. Why it is required to get the job on Power BI. Let me explain, guys. SQL stands for Structured Query Language. It's a language which is commonly used in all the databases. To interact with any database, SQL Server database, Oracle database, .db2 or MySQL, we require SQL language, guys. So we need to learn a database. So SQL stands for Structured Query Language. In order to communicate with any database, we need this language. So in order to learn SQL, you go and learn any database, no matter whether you learn MySQL database or SQL Server database, no matter or Oracle database or DB2 database, the SQL concepts they'll teach is same. In our training institute, we are teaching SQL Server, where we will teach the SQL concepts for 40 hours of time. In the 40 hours of time, we will discuss all the SQL concepts which are required to communicate with the database. Now, the point is, try to understand, this is Power BI, right? SQL will not be used anywhere in the Power BI development. SQL is not used to extract the data. SQL is not used to do ETL. SQL is not used to create OLAP database. SQL is not used to create the reports, visual reports. SQL is not used to publish the reports and share the reports to the clients. The point is, without knowing the SQL, we can complete the complete Power BI project. There is, without having, you can learn Power BI without knowing SQL. You can complete the Power BI project without knowing SQL. When you can do the complete Power BI project without knowing SQL, then why they're asking, someone tell me now, you understand the point? What I'm trying to tell is, nowhere in the Power BI development, I don't use SQL. Without knowing the SQL, you can learn Power BI. Without knowing the SQL, you can do Power BI project. Then why companies are expecting SQL when you want to get the job? If you use somewhere, if somewhere we are using SQL in this project, then okay, that's fine. We can learn and they can ask. But I said that nowhere I use SQL. Believe me, nowhere I use SQL. Without knowing SQL, you can do Power BI, you can do the Power BI project. Online people, someone tell me, then why they're asking SQL to get the job?
Because whatever the report and whatever the actual insights we are trying to find out, so we can validate through the SQL as well.
Validate, correct,
So
guys. So whatever the data you show in the report, how can you blindly tell that report is correct? You move the data from Power Query to Power Pivot, Power Pivot to Power View. You show some numbers. Can you blindly trust these numbers are correct? No. There are some chances to do mistakes in Power Query, some mistakes in Power Pivot, some mistake in Power View. You might be showing the wrong number. How can you tell these numbers are correct? We need to test it. We'll go to the database. Database can understand only one language called SQL. Using the SQL, you will write a query. That query will give some numbers. SQL query will give the numbers. That numbers will compare with the report numbers. Once you compare, then you will share that with the clients. See this point? SQL is not used anywhere in the development phase in the Power BI project. After developing the reports in the Power BI developer need to test the reports. SQL is used to test the data in the reports. To develop the reports, SQL not required. To test the report, SQL required. So you will learn Power BI for 60 hours of time. You will learn SQL Server where you will learn SQL concepts for 40 hours of time. If you already know SQL, you learn only Power BI. If you don't know SQL, you learn both Power BI and SQL. Okay. Now look at here. So these are the different designations you will have. If you want to search the Power BI jobs, search with the data analyst. Go to the job portals and search with these designations. You can find a lot of jobs. And these are my friend desk team numbers. You can ask about when the SQL batches is going to start. They'll tell you. I said Power BI batch is going to start tomorrow itself. Power BI will learn for 60 hours how to develop the reports. I'm the one who will teach it. SQL 40 hours for data validation or testing the reports. Venkatesh sir will teach it. Now we'll go with the questions, guys. A separate trainer, separate course. There is no dependency. So do you think that if you know SQL, then only we can learn Power BI? Means no. You can complete the Power BI project. SQL comes at the end. After you develop the report to test the numbers, then you'll write some SQL queries. It's independent work. Okay. So I'm done with the demo. Now we'll go with the questions, guys. Online people, if you have any questions, you can unmute and you can start with